but he did not. He kept driving. He kept running red lights, running stop signs, going on the wrong side of the road. So then later on, we heard that the LAPD backed out of the pursuit, and we saw the Pasadena airship go overhead, and now we're hearing CHP is getting involved. Again, going freeway speeds, we're actually seeing some vehicles start to pass him, so he's not going in any excess of any miles per hour here on the freeway. But again, northbound 210 coming up into the Sunland and Tujunga area as we work through the Verdugo Hills here. It does get very dark, but luckily we have enough lights on that freeway now so we can keep that car in view, and he's still using his headlights, which is great, because earlier going through those residential streets, it got really scary as that driver was going, wrong way through residential streets without headlights. That could be very dangerous if someone's crossing the street or doesn't see something or making a turn. They might not see that vehicle, this has calmed down to a percentage now that we're on the freeways, and he doesn't have much to do other than go in a straight line at a safe speed at this point without those units behind. But we'll have to see what happens if the California Highway Patrol decides to re-engage. Still northbound on that 210 freeway. We've had pursuits the last 3 nights, and a lot of them have ended up on the freeways going, regular speeds, and that can be a little daunting for the agencies involved, because it does require long stretches of driving. But the agencies have the best capabilities in that sense, as they can switch off, or the police have to switch out. So that's the luxury that they can we switch the saddle? All right. We're working on it. Hey, News Center, can we either switch hilltops or something? I'm into oat still. Into saddle. Into saddle 047. All right. The CHP just took over the CHP helicopter just took over. That is correct. California Highway Patrol's helicopter just took over the pursuit tracking from the sky. So you're going to see that night sun come into view here and there. They're doing their orbits. They're staying at a safe altitude. They're managing terrain up here as well. So we might not see that light stay exactly on that vehicle as we would in other cases. But California Highway Patrol Altadena is looking to get involved. We are seeing this vehicle speed up now as we get through the Sunland off ramps and making our way still northbound into the San Fernando area. But let's pull out a little bit, see if we see any units behind this vehicle. We still do not, but you can see that faint look of that night sun overhead still tracking that vehicle, letting them know that the California Highway Patrol there, and they are not going anywhere. My pilot is looking out the window, which is great. I appreciate that. He's telling me that there is a California Highway Patrol unit about a quarter-mile back. So he is closing fast. You can see him just coming into this view of the screen there. So he's going to get involved. And, he's not going to let this guy go once he gets up on this vehicle. So We're going to continue to follow this, as this is getting a little more dynamic now as that California Highway Patrol is getting involved. But you can see the vehicle is speeding up. Now there are 2 units involved. One just didn't have his lights on, but now we're back in pursuit. California Highway Patrol in pursuit of this stolen vehicle now on that 210 freeway. See the speeds kind of ramp up, and this guy is now getting over to that number 3 lane. We'll have to see if maybe he's going to decide to get off the freeway now. You've seen that before as the police departments have gotten involved. He's hopped off the freeway and went to surface streets. But that California Patrol is not giving up any ground as this pursuit speeds up on the 210 freeway here. Yeah, that's... All right. That's right. We're still on the northbound 210 through the 118 now in the Sylmar area. You saw those 3 CHP units behind this suspect. That's their standard operating procedure. We got 2 officers in those first 2 units and a supervisor that holds back and kind of calls and manages that pursuit. But with that air unit overhead, all the officers on the ground have to worry about is driving and staying with this vehicle and staying safe. The air unit overhead is going to keep track of the vehicle, the streets, calling out the speeds, all that to the best of their ability, so that those officers on the ground can be as safe as possible and not get involved in anything other than this pursuit right now. But yeah, still northbound 210 in the Sylmar area. We just passed over Hubbard and now making our way towards Polk. As the 210, we get up here to the end of the 210. And you can either merge into the pretty much northbound or southbound 5 freeway, which we've already been on the 5 freeway again down in the downtown area. So we'll have to see where the suspect goes. You could go northbound up into the Newhall area, or go back down towards LA up here at the turn of the freeway. We still got a few miles before that. But yeah, this pursuit has sped up quite a bit since that highway patrol got involved. We're seeing them give him some space here. But what we run into is now that the highway patrols behind the vehicle, those other citizens, those people on the road other than the suspect are going to see those police lights and hear those sirens behind them and start to get out of the way. And with the driver of this stolen vehicle sitting in that number 4 lane right now, they're not going to have a lot of time to get across that freeway and pull over. So this could be really confusing for Yeah, that's for sure. I would say we're up in the probably, yep, we just heard over 100 miles an hour now here. The CHP Newhall division, we're talking about that earlier, how the Highway Patrol can switch off units. They are switching from the Altadena units to the Newhall units to get those fresh officers on this pursuit. So we are still now northbound. We're getting close to the 5 freeway here. We're going under these overpasses here. We are now northbound 5 freeway from the 210 and California Highway Patrol Newhall involved. But yeah, we're hitting up to 100 miles an hour here, going through all lanes of traffic as this suspect tries to get away from the California Highway Patrol. But you see that night sun still overhead. That just shows you that the California Highway Patrol helicopter is not giving up on this. We're going to have some options up here as we continue northbound. We have the 5 freeway and then the split to the 14 freeway coming up. So we'll have to see which way the suspect decides to go. But you see him kind of straddling the HOV lane and the number 1 lane there. But that's where this is getting a little dangerous. This guy's not using turn signals. He's jumping lanes, squeezing by vehicles. Did you see that right there? That's crazy. So this is getting more and more dangerous as this continues. We're sticking with that 5 northbound freeway from the 14. So here it's it's just a straight shot up into the Grapevine. Now that's going to be the next major terrain that we will come up to. But we have the whole Newhall area as well as Santa Clarita we're going to be passing through here as we continue northbound. Welcome. I'm ready when you are. Be ready with with IFB. Yep. Coming up to construction here. That's right. We are getting into an area of the 5 freeway where the lanes actually condense down on that northbound side, and they open up a southbound lanes in the northbound lanes. So that suspect ran into the problem of his left shoulder that he was riding down, passing vehicles, automatically just disappeared when that southbound lane came into view, so he had to swerve around those vehicles there. This is a kind of tense area of the freeway that I know of from experience as they continue to change lanes here and there. But now it looks like we're getting off, and we're going to be getting off at what looks to be McBean. McBean here. That's correct, McBean Parkway, and it looks like, yeah, we're going to be now circling into the Santa Clarita area, going eastbound on McBean. Luckily, he's off that freeway in that construction area because that was getting a little tense. But we're going to be working away into some residential areas here in the Santa Clarita area. He's not slowing down any, that's for sure. Still driving in all lanes all over that road. Let's pull out a little bit and see if we see that CHP behind. You still see that Night Sun. Still CHP probably about a half a mile behind. But that suspect's still not slowing down. We'll have to see what he does here. Is this road kind of curves back around. Oh, let's see. It looks like he's stopping. And he's running. So let's follow the driver here. Up into the hills. Looks like we're through some bushes. We're going to try to reposition Sky 5 here. But now back behind those trees, California Highway Patrol behind them. But it looks like that air unit still has his Night Sun over that. They are equipped with a FLIR camera system that does recognize heat. So there is a good chance that the air unit still has eyes on him. We're trying to listen to that on the scanner, but we're not getting it quite yet. But let's see here. Those officers still trying to get to him. Yep, that's for sure. But this does pose a problem, as there might be fences or terrain in the way. But we'll keep looking. The Night Sun's kind of fixated over here, so I'm going to push in and see if we can see anything. Yep, there he is running. Yep, so we'll continue to try to track him through all these bushes. That's the problem with being up in a helicopter. Sometimes those trees get in the way, that's for sure. But we're going to, keep following this as long as we can. Hopefully we get those officers up to him. You can see those flashlights there. They are, gaining ground on this suspect. Hopefully he'll just give up peacefully once those officers get into view. But we'll keep swinging Sky 5 around here, see if we can see down in there. But you can tell even the air unit's having trouble shooting that Night Sun down through those trees. So this is what might be the end of the pursuit. We're not seeing much movement. That Night Sun's staying in the same area. Let's see. Yep, it looks like even the flashlights are stopping. Hopefully that officer got that suspect. We're going to listen for that on the scanner here. But this is a very dark area. It can be dangerous for those officers, going through it. But luckily they have that support from the air unit overhead. Let's push in here, and let's see. Yep, they have him at gunpoint. His hands are up. An officer just walked up to take him into custody. Hands behind his back. Which will be a successful into a pursuit here that kind of went all over the area, the LA area. But the officers did their job. Good work by the California Highway Patrol, sticking with this guy and not letting him get too far away. So a successful into a pursuit up here in the Santa Clarita area that started down in LA here at now 10:50, almost an hour-long pursuit. That wasn't McBean. Semi Sky 5 on the clear. Any way to get back on the other side where the vehicle is? Thank you. Really scary as that driver was going, wrong way through residential streets without headlights. That could be very dangerous if, someone's crossing the street or doesn't see something or making a turn. They might not